हेलो फ्रेंड्स, हम अपने करंट अफेयर दृष्टि करंट अफेयर की सीरीज़ पार्ट थर्ड पॉलिटिकल एंड करंट अफेयर्स स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स वर्डिक्ट्स ऑन गवर्नर वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ तमिलनाडु ऑन April 8, 2025, the Supreme Court of India as the state of Tamil Nadu versus Governor of Tamil Nadu clarified that governor must act on the state bills in time-bound manners following the ads and advice of the Council of Ministers as per Article 200 without independent discretions. On May 15, 2025, President Draupadi Murmu under Articles 143 has made point reference to the Supreme Court for its considerations that can Supreme Court stipulates any time frames. The ruling by Justice J.B. Pardiwalas and R. Mahadevans underscores the limits of the governor roles and reasserts the primary of the elected state governments in the federal democracy. The court's judgment on April 8, 2025 is unprecedented in the in at least three ways. First, it has laid down detailed guidelines for how a governors ought to act in refusing assents to a bills and to bills or referring it to the president. Second, it exercised its power under Article 142 to hold that the bills in the Tamil Nadu governors did not assents have become a law. Third, it has given itself the power to issue mandamus to the presidents when a bill has been referred to the presidents by the gubernatorial authority refers to the powers and responsibility vested in the governor of the state or province, typically within a federal system. In India, the governor is constitutional head of the state, with chief ministers being the head of the government. Tamil Nadu government approached the Supreme Court 31st October 2023 challenging the governor delay in declaring the legislative and administrative proposal. 12 bills were withheld without action by the government. Constitutional power of the governor on the state bills. Under Articles 200, once a bill is passed by the state legislature, both houses, if bicameral, it is presented to the governors for approval. Governor options on the bills. Give assent. The governor may assent to bills making it a valid law. Withhold assents. The governor can reject bills by refusing assent. Returns for reconsiderations. The governor may return the bills as soon as possible with the suggestions. If the bill is passed again or without changes, the governor must give assents. Reserve for the president. The governor may reserve the bills for president consideration, especially if it affects high court's powers or involve constitutional concern. Role of president's Article 200, Article 208. When a bill is reserved, the president may grant, withhold, or returns the bill, except money bill, with recommendations. The legislature must consider as act with 6 months of returns, no defined limit. The Constitution does not prescribe any time limit for the governor or presidents to act the bill, often leading to delay and legal ambiguities. Key highlights of the judgments. Some of the major highlights of the judgments as follows. The court rules that Constitution does not allow an absolute pocket veto by the governor. The governor cannot indefinitely delay actions. The governor must generally act on the ad and advice of the state's cabinet when dealing with bills as per Article 200. On the legislature's repass says the bill with or without amendments, the governor bounds to grant assents. The governor cannot reserve or re-enacted bills for the president consideration. The Supreme Court for the first time prescribed detailed time limits for governors to make decisions or bills. When bill is presented to the governor based on council minister advice, the governor is expected to act promptly and must do so within 1 month. Which includes situations where the state government itself advises the governor to refer the bills to the president, as in cases involving possible conflicts with the union's laws and interests. In all such instances, whether for assents or referrals, the 1 month's time applies. Refusal of two assents, returning bills. If the governor intends to withholds assents and disagrees with the council of ministers, then governor must return the bills to the legislature along with the detailed message explains the objections for reason. The court has maximum time limits 3 months for the process. Refers to the precedents against the state. If the governor exercising discretions under the Article 200 choose to refer a bills to the president for consideration, even if the council of ministers is against it, it must be done as soon as possible but not later than 3 months. If the governor fails to act within these periods, the inactions become subject to judicial review and may challenge in the court. Bill repassed by the assembly after reconsideration. When a bill is returned to the governor for reconsideration and passed again by the state legislature, the governor is the constitutional bounds to grant assents. If the governor does not act within a 1 month, it may be treated contempt of court, and such delays will close monitors by the judiciary. Invocations of Articles 142. The court invoked Article 142 to do complete justice. It declared that Tamil Nadu's 10 Tamil Nadu bills deemed assents given the governor extraordinary delay. Mahakumbh 2025 Prayagraj. The Mahakumbh was held in Prayagraj from January 13, 2025 to February 26, 2025 on the second sacreds of the bank of Ganga, Yamuna and the invisible Saraswati, collectively known as Sangam Trivedi. Mahakumbh is organized 12 years sequentially at 4 major cities: Prayagraj, Haridwar, Ujjain, Nashik. Key highlights: the fair of the Mahakumbh was informally inaugurated on 13 January 2025 of the day of Posh Purnima. The first Sai Isnan Royal Baths took place on 14 January 2025 on Makar Sankranti. Second Sai Isnans was 29 January 2025 on Mauni Amashya, and the third Sai Isnan was 3rd February 2025 on Basant Panchami. The Mahakumbh concluded with the Magahi Purnima Bath on February 12, 2025 and the Mahashivratri Bath on February 26, 2025. After the conclusion of Mahakumbh, a total of 3 world records were established. First Guinness World Record was Ganga's cleaning, where 329 employees simultaneously carried out Ganga cleaning campaign at the same times. The second was sets when 19,000 sanitation workers collectively cleaned 4 different zones of the Mahakumbh 2025 Prayagraj fairs area simultaneously established a new world record. The third record registered the Guinness World Record was for the world's largest handprints painting created by approximately 10,109 people at the Mahakumbh 2025. This artwork, 80 feet long and 5 feet wide, symbolizes unity, social harmony, and collective spirits. Mahakumbh 2025 could not set a record for a largest crowds as such. World records are only registered when the local governments informed the international agency beforehand that records for the largest crowd will setups on could be set. The Honorable Chief Ministers also launched Buddhist Mahakumbh Yatra, organized Mahakumbh Nagar. Notably, the total estimated budget of Mahakumbh's 2025 Prayagraj was approximately 6,382 crore After Prayagraj, the next Mahakumbh, Nasik Mahakumbh 2027, will be organized on the bank of Godavari River. The Purn Kumbhs will be held in Ujjain in 2028 and in Haridwar in 2033. It is noteworthy that Kumbh was reorganized as intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO in 2017. Kumbh 2019 created three Guinness World Records: largest traffic and crowd management plans, the biggest painting exercise of public sites under the Paint My City schemes, biggest sanitation and waste disposal mechanism. The budget of Mahakumbh Mela 2025 is rupees 2,500 crore as per the Uttar Pradesh budget 2024-25. Kumbh Mela logo. The Kumbh Mela's 2025's logo was unveiled by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath October 2024. Mahakumbh's 2025 logo features Amrit Kalash, a temple's image of Lord Hanuman's, a seeds of urn, and Akshavats, showcasing the confluence of nature and humanity in the Sanatana civilizations. Kumbh Bani and Kumbh Mangal Dhavani. Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath inaugurated all India Radio Special Mahakumbh Bani channels FM 103 MHz dedicated to Mahakumbh 2025 at Circuit House Prayagraj. During the events, the Chief Minister also launched Kumbh Mangalam Dhawan. 5 new classical languages. Recently, on October 3, 2024, Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved confer the status of classical languages of Marathi, Pali, Prakritic, Assam, and Bengali language. The classical language was served as custodian of the Bharat profounds and ancient cultural heritage, embodying the essence of each community's historical and cultural milestones. The Government of India has decided to create a new categories of language as classical languages on 12th October 2004, declaring Tamil as a classical language and settings following as a criteria for status of classical languages. High antiquities for the early texts recorded history over the thousand years. A body of ancient literature text which is considered a valuable heritage by generation of speakers. The literary traditions must be originals and not borrowed from another speech communities. A linguistic expert communities was constituted by the Ministry of Culture under the Sahitya Academy in November 2004 to examine the proposed language for the status of classical languages. The Governor of India has conferred the status of classical language following language so far: Tamil October 12, 2004, Sanskrit November 25 November 2005, Telugu 31st October 2008, Kannada 31st October 2008, Malayalam 8 अगस्त 2013, उड़िया मार्च 1, 2014. New rules. Linguistic expert committee under the Sahitya Academy, in a meeting on July 25, 2024, unanimously revised the criteria of Sahitya Academy has been appointed as a nodal agency for LEC, Linguistic Expert Committee. High antiquities of its texts recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 year. A body of ancient literature text which is considered a heritage by generations of speakers. Knowledge text, especially prose text in additions to poetry, epigraphicals and inscription evidence. The classical languages and literature could be distinguished from its current from or could be discontinued with later forms of its offshoots. The committee also recommends following languages to fulfilling revised criteria to the considered a classical language: Marathi, Pali, Prakritic, Assam, Bengali. COP 2000 COP 29 recently COP 29 of the UNFCCC was concluded in Baku, Azerbaijan from November 11 to 24, extended by 2 days 2024. Key highlights: new collective quantified goal, commitments to triple climate finances of developing countries, $3000 annually by 2035. COP19 finalized key mechanisms for carbon markets under the Paris Agreements, marking a significant milestone. Article 6.2 enables bilateral agreement between the countries to trade carbon credits on mutual agreed terms, fostering flexibles in emissions reduction. Article 6.4 establishes a United Nations managed centralized carbon emissions offsets trading systems known as a Paris Agreement crediting mechanism to ensure transparency and accountability in the global carbon trading. Declaration on reducing methane. Over 30 countries including US, Germany, UK, UAE endorse the COP29's declarations on reducing methane from organic waste. In India, India is not signatory. Baku Harmonia Climate Initiative for Farmers. At COP29 in Baku, the COP29 presidency, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization, launched the Baku Harmonia Climate Initiatives for Farmers. National Health Accounts Estimate 2020 to 21 and 21 to 22. The Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare released 8th and 9th health accounts estimate for physicals year 2020, 21 and 2021 to 2022. Key finding: rising government health expenditures. The share of the government health expenditures in GDP increased from 1.13% in 2014-15 to 1.84% in 2021-22. In terms of shares in general government expenditures has increased from 3.94% in 2014-15 to 6.12% in 2021-22. In per capita terms, government health expenditures has tripled from rupees 1108 in 2024 2014-15 to rupees 3169 in 2021 to 22. The government spendings on health between 2019-20 and 2021 increased by 16.6%. Between 14-15 and 2021-22, the share of OOPE in the total health expenditures declined from 62.6% to 39.4%. The government shares in the total health expenditures increased 29% in 2014-15 to 48 in 2021-22. Another positive trends in the country health finances space in increase in social security expenditures. The share of social security expenditure on health in the total health expenditure increased 5.7% to 2014-15 to 88.7% in 2021-22. India's total expenditures was estimated 7 crore 39 lakh 327 crore, representing 3.73% of the GDP, with per capita spending of rupees 5,436 in 2020 to 2021. Of the current health expenditures accounts amounted rupees 3 crore 16 lakh 5,500 554 crores, equating 42.82%, the 1.60% of the GDP, and rupees 2,328 per capita. Next news है Lady Justice statue. In October 2024, the Supreme Court has unveiled the new statue of Lady Justice, reimagining the previous image, typically a blindfolded woman holding a set of scales on the one hand and a sword in another. The synonyms with the legal practice around the world. In the new statue, the blindfold is removed, symbolizing and evolving interpretations of justice that inform throughout the guided by reason. The statue holds a copy of the Constitution instead of traditional swords. The signifies that India's laws is grounded in the constitutional principles, not driven by retributions. The statue is dropped in the sari instead of traditional robe. The sari reflects Indian departures from the colonial era's influence against to replacing colonial laws like the IPC and CRPC. The statue remains the scales of justice in Lady Justice's right hands. The scales continue to represent the importance of balancing arguments and carefully weighing facts before reaching the verdict. Next news है प्रधानमंत्री जनजाति उन्नत ग्राम अभियान. In Union Budget 2024-2025, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced the launch of the Pradhan Mantri Janjati Unnat Gram Abhiyan, aimed at improving social economic status of the tribal communities. Under the initiative's full coverage of all tribal families will be ensured that tribal dominant village and aspirational districts, approximately 63,000 villages, will be included, benefiting around 50 millions of the tribal people. Key facts. On September 18, 2024, the Union's Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, approved campaign. Total outlay of the campaign is set rupees 79,156 crore, comprising a central shares of rupees 56,333 crore and state shares of rupees 22,823 crore. The campaigns will cover 549 districts and 2,740 blocks across 30 states UTs with significant tribal populations. It includes 25 programs implemented by the 17 ministries. The Ministries of Tourism will promote 1,000 homestays under the Swadesh Darshan schemes. On October 2, 2024, the schemes of PM Sujuga was notified as Dharti Abha Janjati Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan JUGA Dharti Abha Janjati Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. The Government of India has launched Dharti Abha Janjati Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan to promote inclusive and sustainable developments in the tribal areas. The initiatives will cover 63,843 villages, benefiting over 5 crore tribal citizens across 549 districts and 2,911 blocks in 30 states and union territories. DAJGUA places a special emphasis on the tribal majority regions and aspirational blocks to ensure equitable development. The Abhiyan seeks to bridge critical development gaps in social infrastructure, health care, education and livelihood. A total 25 targeted interventions will be implemented by the 17th line of ministers, ensuring coordinating action through coverage and outreach expansion. Next है PM Nidhi scheme. Recently, central government organized an event named Utkrishta की ओर बढ़े कदम, celebrating achievements, inspiring excellence to facilitate best performance under the PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi, PM Swanidhi Yojana and Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojanas. National Urban Livelihood Missions event organized 18 July 2024. Event organized by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Key highlights: performance recognitions for access to financial inclusion and street vendors empowerment. Praise awards. PM Saunidhi. Award category: Best Performing States Loan Performance. Larger states first Madhya Pradesh, small states and UT first Ladakh, hilly and northeast state first Assam. Special award for outstanding performance first Maharashtra. Award category: Best Performing State Innovation and Best Facility. Large state first Madhya Pradesh. Best Performing ULB's Loan Performance. Mega and millions plus cities. Population 10 lakhs more. First Municipal Corporation of Delhi. Major cities population 1 lakh to 10 lakhs. First Union Municipal Corporations Madhya Pradesh. Best Performing ULB's Achievement in Swanidhi Se Samriddhi. Mega and millions plus cities population greater than 10 lakhs. First Varanasi Municipal Corporations Uttar Pradesh. Major cities population 1 lakh to 10 lakh. First Jhansi Municipal Corporations. Next news: Lok Sabha election 2024. On June 19, 2024, Narendra Modi shone as the Prime Minister for the third time in grand ceremony in Presidential Palace in New Delhi. The swearing-in ceremony is also witnessed inductions of 72 councils of ministers, including PM. Within newly constituted councils of ministers, there were a total 7 women ministers comprising 2 cabinet ministers and 5 ministers of the state. Led by Prime Ministers, the new council of ministers included 30 other cabinet ministers, total 31, 5 ministers of the states with independent charge and 36 ministers of the states. 11 NDA allied ministers were among those who were sworn in on June 9, 2024. On June 7, 2024, PM Modi confirmed the support of 293 MPs to Draupadi Murmu, the President of India. PM Narendra Modi is only the second leader to win third consecutive terms after the country's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, who won the 1952, 1957, 1962 general election. The Legislative Assembly elections in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Odisha and Sikkim were held simultaneously with the general election along with by the for 2025. 55 constituencies of 12 legislative assembly. General elections were held in India from 19 April to 1st June 2024 in 7 phases and counted on 4 June 2024 to elect all the Lok Sabha members in the state of the Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. The elections were held in 7 phases. The general election 2025 was the second longest polling exercise, lasted 44 days. For the first time, the Election Commission of India has allowed voters with disabilities and those who are age 85 cast ballots from their homes. There were about 1.8 crore for the first time voters from 18 to 19 year age. Some Pens, Tribes and Nicobar Islands casted their votes for the first times in the general elections. The elections of commissions on 6 June 2024 announced by the press notes that overall total voters turnout is 65.79%. It does not include postal ballots. According to this, Lakshadweep recorded the highest voting percentage is 84.16, followed by the Assam 81.56, whereas the lowest voting percentage was recorded in Bihar state 56.19. The Bharatiya Janata Party emerged as the single largest party, securing 240 seats. The BJP along with Democratic Alliance NDA partners were collectively won collectively won 292 seats out of 543 seats, ensuring third consecutive terms. Prime Minister Narendra Modi 42.8% of votes. The Congress-led India's blocks the National Development Inclusive Alliance bagged 243 seats, 40.6% of votes, while the Indian National Congress clinched 99 seats. Samajwadi Party (SP) became the third largest party with 37 seats. All seats in the one state, Uttar Pradesh. Rani Rakibul Hassan's of the Indian National Congress had the highest victory of margins, winnings Dhubri constituencies in Assam's over 10 lakh votes. The Bharatiya Janata Party's once Indore seat with contest and incumbent MP Shankar Lavani is having secured 1,02,206 751 votes. Lalwani won by the margin of 1,075,92 from Sanjay BSP, but Nota is the second position. The toughest fight won by Ravindra Datram's backward Shiv Sena, who defeated opponents of Amol Kalyanan Kritikar. The Shiv Sena UBT by Anumolan 48 in the Mumbai Northwest constituency in Maharashtra. Out of 543's member of parliament elected 11 Lok Sabha, women constitution only 74, which is 13.6% of the totals. Youngest MP Pushpender Saroj Kausambi, Uttar Pradesh. Sambhavi Chaudhary, Samastipur, Bihar. PS Saroj, Mercedes Purush, Uttar Pradesh at the age of 24. सो फ्रेंड्स आज के लिए इस पार्ट में इतना ही. नेक्स्ट सीरीज आगे की पार्ट में कंटिन्यू रहेगी ये पॉलिटिकल्स एंड नेशनल अफेयर्स की. सो थैंक यू. प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब दिस चैनल्स.